Hi everyone, today we are reading, What's the biggest thing you did that improved your success with girls? Please consider subscribing if you enjoy the video. I stopped caring about my success with girls and focused on my personal success. You're super young. Work on yourself. Find your purpose in life. The girls you are pursuing probably have favorable qualities. Ask yourself what you have to offer in return. If you have a lot going for you, women will realize it. Then it will be your job to sort the good from the bad. And remember, being picky, within reason, never hurt anybody. Unless you are the exception in the rule, women will come and go in your young adult life. You, however, will not. You will have to live with yourself for a long time. Take care of yourself both physically and mentally. And do not base your self-worth on women. Decide what kind of man you aspire to be, and base your self-worth on that. Stopped drinking excessively, and stopped caring. Being desperate. Lost weight, got fit, stopped being so needy, insecure, worked on being, if not seeming, more confident. Started being concerned with me, what I want, what I need, and more importantly what I need to do to get there. When you live your life devoted to the process of improvement, it gets lonely real quick, but you realize what actually matters and what does not matter at all. I think that from that point you start living in a way that is far more conducive to what your goals are, and from there are more likely to meet like-minded girls. I stopped caring about girls and focused on myself. Girls come and girls go. It's more important to not be a pathetic and gross person. Also, like yourself, confidence is kinda huge. Treat mixed signals as a hard no from her, even though it feels like a confusing soft no. If she's giving you mixed signals, it means one of two things. 1, she's not interested, but doesn't know how to turn you down, or 2, she's playing games. You don't want to be involved in either of those. This is part of learning to respect yourself and your time. I think seeking more platonic relationships with women in general is a low-pressure thing to do that will benefit you if you don't already do it. It's easier to say than to do. But the best way to improve your success with women is to stop putting so much concern into your success with women. That need is a huge turn-off, and it can also deter potential partners, because you will give an air of expectation whenever in a conversation with one you are attracted to. There are literally hundreds of tips I could give, but they all basically boil down to the same things: confidence without arrogance, self-respect, and having something you live for. A few general tips, however. Learn to separate your attraction from a need to pursue. You can be attracted, but that is just a thing that happens. You should need a lot more than that to actually pursue someone. When you are attracted, don't think in terms of how can I make this woman like me. Think more in terms of let's be 100% who I am and see if she is into that. For your information, this is ironically why arseholes get the girls. Not because women like arseholes, but because they trust the persona themate and the confidence to also be focusing on yourself and your life. Women like men with goals and a mission. Men who are trying to achieve something. What is it you want to be? To achieve? To do? What it is and how much money it makes matters far less than your drive and passion to achieve it. There is someone who will love what you do. I don't care if it is to live poorly working volunteer shelters, to be a magician, or a Fortune 500 CEO. Someone will love what you stand for and be drawn to you for it. Someone else totally will not. And that is great. It helps you narrow down to the people worth your time. Be curious and interested in everyone you speak to. Learn to actively listen, not just wait for your next opportunity to talk. Really digest what people say and ask interested questions. Have self-respect, but be humble. Ask where in your life do you reflect a lack of respecting yourself. Fitness, hygiene, money, etc. Then just fix it. Don't make excuses. Yes, sometimes it is hard. But you are a man and you are primed to face these challenges. Just do what you have to do. Self-respect and change grow side by side. You can't have a lot of one and little of the other. As you go to the gym, you lose a little weight, put on a little muscle, gain a little self-respect. Next time each of these change just a little bit more. When one fails, let discipline and purpose take over. Understand women love to discover you. This is my favorite and one I kind of tripped into. Don't sell your story and accomplishments when meeting them. Don't spurt out all the cool stuff you do. Let everything they learn about you come organically by just being the core person you are, authentically. Let the cool stuff come out naturally and it is way more intriguing to them. Here is a little story. When I was dating again in my late 30s, I quickly discovered talking about being in band was a turn-off. Many immediately pegged me into the almost 40 delusional it could still happen guy. Luckily for me, the band really is just a big hobby. But I eventually stopped talking about it. As I was dating new women, it would inevitably come up or need to be mentioned, but often discovered organically, where it would make sense to bring it up. Like why I wasn't free a certain night. They would then ask questions with growing curiosity, eventually asking to hear it, see the videos we've done, ask about the shows and how I came to be in my role in the band, etc. All of a sudden this became a huge attractor, because it was something very interesting about my life that they got to discover about me and find greater depths at their own prompting. I don't want to tell stories, but some crazy, and really good, things happened after some women discovered this. I do this with a lot about my life now, and there are still moments where my fiancé will discover me a little more and the attraction ramps up. Hopefully that helps. If you want a book to help, you can basically ignore almost all the dating advice out there and just read Models by Mark Manson and internalize that. This depends on your circumstances and won't apply to everyone, but for me, I moved. I was living in a place without a ton of people my age, was hanging out with the same people all the time and just generally didn't have a lot of opportunities to meet someone new. Then I moved to a different country for work and within a few weeks started dating someone I've been happy with ever since. In my experience, I find being in a new place forces me out of my comfort zone to meet people in general, and that opens me up in a way that's conducive to dating. That plus being from somewhere else tends to spark people's interest. I literally stopped caring about what others thought about me, nerd, weirdo, etc., and started focusing on my career and health. I even gave less of a shit about finding a woman at the time. Coincidentally, 3 months after starting this slow change, I found someone through a friend who is almost a carbon copy of me. When I tried to find a woman, I had no luck. When I stopped trying to find a woman, one magically appears in front of me. I don't know. Stopped giving a damn. Not saying I don't care about women, but I stopped looking for validation from them. It causes too much of unnecessary stress and it just made me look desperate for their attention. I don't know about everyone else, but for me the best way to get a girl's attention is to not pay them any attention. No, I don't mean play hard to get, but to focus more on yourself and building yourself. There are way too many women in the world for you to stress over that one that rejected you or that one that won't give you the time of day. Now I for one understand how difficult it is to be a guy finding love. I know it's difficult to figure out a way to stand out from the trillions of men fighting over the girl, but there's always someone out there for everyone. Now it may take a while for you to find that one. LOL, I'm still looking for my weeb that I can sing Disney songs with, but it all comes with time. Lost weight. 5 feet 6 inches and 195 pounds is very different from 5 feet 6 inches and 165 pounds. And it's way easier in the second form. The biggest thing? Stopped caring about girls. When I stopped caring, I thought about them less. When I thought about them less, I don't put them on a pedestal. When I don't put them on a pedestal, I act normal around them. When I act normal around them, things aren't awkward, weird, and that's it. Girls are easier than men think. Treat them like a person. The responses are generally better. Or be a fun guy. Either works. Both is better, but it's up to you. Lost weight. It was night and day how big of a difference in attention and the quality of the attention changes during the time I was no longer look fat. I gained a significant amount back and the attention has gone away. It was a real hollow victory in that yes, I was getting attention, but the only thing preventing that was my looks. Turns out looks do matter with dating. I stopped actively seeking them out. I had decided to take a break and focus on self-improvement and, for whatever reason, they starts flocking me for the first time. I'm neither rich nor gorgeous and I'm very much introverted. I think women just want what they can't have. Knowing who I am and not focusing on winning the girl for me, it's easy to say that you should just be yourself. But that's about it. Be interested in the person you're dating, instead of being interested in her as your next girlfriend. Enjoy your time together and if you're a good match, everything will work out. On my last date I did really weird stuff and we talked about super random things, but we were both really chill about the situation and didn't force anything, so it just worked naturally. Learn to dance. Shows off so many traits that women find attractive. Improved my looks. You can try your hardest to make chicken salad out of your confidence and personality, but looks will be your foot in the door. Most of the time it's only after you meet someone's minimum threshold that they truly start caring about the intangibles of you. Stop chasing so hard. Got busy with work and other events so I wouldn't be available 24/7, 365 to cater to women. I'd tell Sim I was busy and couldn't hang out. I'd take hours to reply, or just not reply in some cases. If a conversation died I wouldn't start a new one. I was just busy with a life and I realized these women started coming after me. Easier said than done though, because when I meet a girl I really like I still chase her rather than the opposite. Started talking to them more. That's it. Practice makes perfect. And even hard cases figure it out eventually. Worst case, you figure it out by process of elimination. Best case, you bumble your way into the right way. I dated girls from Tinder, 8 I think, expecting nothing and had great conversations with all of them. This led to much less anxiety when talking to women one-on-one. After this self-made boot camp training, I asked a girl in real life out and it worked. Dating so far. I looked in the mirror, and I decided to take accountability for everything in my life that I wasn't ecstatic about, and I took action to those things. Everything flowed from there. It wasn't a quick fix. Started working out an hour a day every day, then bumped that up to 1.5 hours. Being fit solves 99% of problem with women. Accepted myself. Started acting confident before actually being confident. At a young age. Less than and around 20, it's all about pretending. Nobody really cares about real you. Just get laid and get experienced with the girls. Once you get a better hang on life and yourself, you start looking for something serious. Of course there are tons of people who get into successful serious relationship really early, but the vast majority don't. I lost the old V to a lady of the night in a certain weed smoker's paradise and it increased my confidence massively. I hate that I did it that way, but hey ho. Turned 30 and went bald, genuinely. Not sure why it worked, but I went from nothing to having more interest than I knew what to do with almost overnight. Cut the generic lines of thinking. Women aren't a unified force of nature. Get to know them like you get to know your dude friends. When you hang out with guys you don't go boy like sports then do generic sports stuff. You discuss favorite teams, players, what they thought of that ludicrous display last night etc. But when it comes to women lots of guys go girl like flowers. Okay, but does she like roses, daisies, carnations? For instance one woman I know hates carnations. Because an abusive person in her past would always buy those as an apology after abuse. She habitually distanced herself from any guy who bought those for her. You may be stepping on your own toes if you don't take those extra steps in getting to know her. It's very obvious to women when there is that lack of effort in getting to know her. I treat them like human beings. I try to go in with the understanding that there are people who just aren't into me. And others that like me. There are people who want what I want. And those who don't. Going in with that mindset makes it not a game, but rather a discussion and exploration to see if we want the same things and if we want them from each other. Honest communication helped more than anything else. It also works really well with boys. Just be more blunt. Please don't be tricked by people who view it as a game. Yes, you will be more attractive to more women if you are an appropriate weight, dress decently, etc. But unless you are absolutely disgusting, that isn't stopping you. If your view of success is just to have sex with girls, then be honest about it. There are plenty of women looking to just use guys to get off too. If you want a connection with someone, be honest about that. If you go down some hole of trying to be dishonest about your wants in order to trick girls, that makes you an asshole. What do you view as success? Please subscribe if you like the video. It really helps the channel to grow. Adios.